Hello everyone, I'm Singbe Park, a philosopher of science at UNIST, Ulsan National Institute of Science and Technology. In this video, I briefly summarize Chapter 4 of my book, Embracing Scientific Realism. The target viewers of this video are the philosophers of science who have already published and aim to publish more on scientific realism. In Chapter 4, I construct 6 new arguments for scientific realism. They have the following 2 characteristics. First, they are all profoundly distinct from the no miracles argument. Second, they utilize the very ideas that the scientific anti-realists have developed to attack scientific realism. Accordingly, prospective criticisms against the 6 new arguments will backfire on scientific anti-realist arguments against scientific realism. Let me begin with the optimistic induction over realists. The optimistic induction over realists holds that since recent past realists were right to believe the theories of their time, such as evolutionary theory and the special theory of relativity, present and future realists are also right to believe the theories of their times. This argument for realism mirrors the pessimistic induction over realists that we discussed in Chapter 2. Let me move on to the argument from undiscovered evidence. The argument from undiscovered evidence holds that since the theory has been supported by previously undiscovered evidence, it will continue to be supported by hitherto undiscovered evidence. For example, the special theory of relativity was supported by the undiscovered evidence, which was later discovered with the use of scientific instruments such as atomic clocks, fast-flying jets, global positioning systems, and particle accelerators. The amount of such evidence is infinite. We can construct similar arguments for other scientific theories, such as evolutionary theory and the kinetic theory. Let me move on to the argument from neighboring theories. The argument from neighboring theories holds that since the theory has been reinforced by previously unconceived neighboring theories, it will continue to be reinforced by hitherto unconceived neighboring theories. 2 neighboring theories, which were confirmed independently of each other, may jointly explain or predict new phenomena. For example, evolutionary theory has its own observational evidence, and the theory of plate tectonics also has its own observational evidence, and they jointly predicted and explained the existence of marsupial fossils in Antarctica. As a result, they supported each other. Evolutionary theory was similarly supported by other neighboring theories, such as the germ theory, molecular biology, and electromagnetic theory. So we can construct a list of neighboring theories that supported evolutionary theory. This list entitles us to construct an argument for evolutionary theory. It holds that since evolutionary theory has been supported by its several unconceived neighboring theories, it will continue to be supported by infinitely many hitherto unconceived neighboring theories. We can construct similar arguments for other scientific theories, such as electromagnetic theory. Electromagnetic theory has been bolstered by evolutionary theory, molecular biology, and the theory of plate tectonics, exactly in the way evolutionary theory has been bolstered by the germ theory, molecular biology, the theory of plate tectonics, and electromagnetic theory. Let me move on to the counter-induction for realism. We are inductionists in some contexts. For example, we infer that since apples have been falling down, they will fall down. We are, however, counter-inductionists in other contexts. For example, we believe that since scientists made mistakes, they will no longer make similar mistakes. Induction is built upon the uniformity principle that the future resembles the past. By contrast, the counter-induction is built upon the disuniformity principle that the future is different from the past. The pessimistic induction operates under the uniformity principle, asserting that since past theories were abandoned, present theories will also be abandoned. By contrast, the counter-induction for realism operates under the disuniformity principle, asserting that since past theories were discarded, present theories will not be discarded. What if current theories are overturned? The counter-induction isn't refuted. Strictly speaking, the counter-induction doesn't say current theories are definitely true. It rather says they are likely to be true. After current theories are overturned, counter-inductionists will believe that future theories are more likely to be true than current theories. Let me move on to the two notions of rationality. Van Fraassen considers two rival notions of rationality, the Prussian notion of rationality and the English notion of rationality. According to the Prussian notion, what is rational to believe is exactly what one is rationally compelled to believe. According to the English notion, what it is rational to believe includes anything that one is not rationally compelled to disbelieve. Van Fraassen accepts the English notion and rejects the Prussian notion. Van Fraassen constructs an argument for anti-realism that might be called the English argument for anti-realism. It says we are not rationally compelled to believe a theory, so we can rationally disbelieve it. Realists might object that a theory best explains phenomena, so we are rationally compelled to believe it. Van Fraassen replies that inference to the best explanation is not rationally compelling, so even if a theory best explains phenomena, we are not rationally compelled to believe it, and we can rationally disbelieve it. In response, I construct what I call the English argument for realism. It holds that we are not rationally compelled to disbelieve a theory, so we can rationally believe it. In my view, realists can invoke the English notion of rationality to defend realism, just as Van Fraassen invokes the English notion of rationality to defend anti-realism. So far, I unfolded the 5 new arguments for realism. The list of the 5 new arguments for realism entitles us to construct what I called the grand optimistic induction. It holds that since realism has been supported by the 5 previously unconceived arguments, it will continue to be supported by hitherto unconceived arguments. The number of such arguments is infinite. My opponents might say that anti-realist arguments are all bad. So my 6 arguments, which resemble them, are also bad. In general, to construct an argument which is similar to a bad argument is to construct another bad argument. Let me make 2 comments on this objection. First, anti-realists cannot raise it because it implies that their arguments for anti-realism are bad. Second, the objection implies that the most forceful argument for anti-realism, namely the pessimistic induction, is removed from the table. But the most forceful argument for realism, namely the no miracles argument, is still on the table. Therefore, realism looks better than anti-realism. I just summarized chapter 4 of my book, Embracing Scientific Realism. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.